All right, guys, here we are. We are at NAS Power. We're gonna train legs today. So I'm gonna show you some of the exercises that I do that's helped me blow up my legs. Obviously, I'm training with Matt Jansen right now, so he's helped me elevate my game and with new stuff, new tempo. So I'm very excited. But yeah, man. So leg days are always something that definitely makes me, what would be the word for it? Dig deeper, if I can say. An hour before, I always like to get ready, mentally ready. Obviously the drive, listen to my music, get in that zone, because I know that I'm gonna put myself through a discomfort and pain that's not necessarily fun, but I know there's something afterwards and rewarding. So that's the feeling that I'm chasing. I am intimidated right now. I am a little scared and nervous, but I'm definitely ready for this one. It's gonna be a good one, and I can't wait to show you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. I definitely get warmed up, so I don't go straight into my compound lifts. So what we're gonna do right here, we're gonna warm up our quads. We're gonna get that blood flow. We're gonna do one big set here. It's called the rest pause. So we're gonna do that here before we get into our hack squat. So we don't just jump into the compound lifts. We wanna make sure that everything's flared up. We wanna make sure that we're warmed up, prevents injuries and stuff like that. So yeah, we don't just jump right into the exercises. We were warmed up, get the body going, get the mind going. And then, and then you'll see that big set, man. So my buddy Keith definitely helps me out, man. Keeps me level-headed. I think it's very important to have a good training partner. Keyword, good training partner, right? Because you can train with your buddy, but that doesn't always work out, right? You gotta train with someone who's not scared to tell you to push yourself, push you more, and who's not scared to be honest with you, right? That's why I train with Keith, because Keith definitely doesn't sugarcoat stuff, right? So he pushes me and tells me, hey, man, you half-assed that, or hey, you good shit, right? So you want to have people who have integrity and who are willing to push themselves. A lot of kids these days, they want the success and they want to be up there and they want all these accolades and titles, but they're not willing to go through that. And that's why I would train with people who are, obviously more mature and older than me, because they know hard work. I think that's a lot of things kids don't understand these days. They want all this stuff, all this glamour and clout, but they don't want to go through it. They don't want to go through the grit. They don't want to go through those times, and they don't want to push. And that's why I'm on here to show you guys, hey man, this is what it takes. Obviously I'm not at the level yet, but I will be. But I'm trying to show them hey man, this is the roots, this is how you want to do it. And I think a lot of people in this town don't have that. So if I could be the first one to do that, like, hey man, you have to go through this day in and day out. It's gonna show like it's not given, it's earned. So I do for warm-ups, they're called warm-up sets, but they also call it filler sets. So we're not trying, when you're warming up, you don't want to exhaust yourself. You just want to get that blood flow going. So we have 2 more warm-up sets right now, and then we're going to attack it. And you'll see that what a rest pause really looks like. But warming up is just to get that blood flow going. That way you guys can see, you don't want to, like I said, exhaust yourself, right? You just want to get the blood, the mind going, everything connecting and clicking. So when it's time to rock and roll, you're going, you know what I mean? So you guys saw right now, that was my first set. This is gonna be our second exercise, the hack squat. So this is my baby. This is my girl. Like I said, I choose the second to obviously get my quads fired up and everything like that. That way we don't waste as much energy warming up here. We take less warm-up sets, straight more into it. Plus my mind's already there. I'm already like going. So this is why we say this for second. Plus it's easy on the joints too, like our knees and stuff like that. But we also like to use the band. No, we like to use the band. So we like to use some resistance on this. But yeah, the hack squats where I guess you could say the magic happens. I just like the way it feels when I'm lifting it. Plus it's a lot easier on my knees coming up. I feel like when I don't use the band, there is a lot more pressure on my knees. The next day I am hurting. So I want to avoid that. Some people say it's easier this way. To be honest with you, I like to argue and say no. But I just feel a lot better on my knees. And that's the biggest thing, right? I love to push myself and I love to go hard, but I don't want to get hurt. And I don't want injuries, right? I'm here for the long term. So So I want to make sure I'm here in my 30s, still training, still pushing myself at an elite level, not trying to modify myself, oh I can't do this or I can't do that because of injuries, because I didn't train smarter. So that's one thing I'm trying to avoid. So hopefully you guys can see some of the stuff that I do with warm-up sets, bands, stuff like that. I'm trying to eliminate injuries. So guys, there is such a thing called train hard, smarter, not harder. I'm a humble guy, humble. But when I'm training, I'm very arrogant. So, like I said, I train to win. I don't train to for acceptance or approval. You can say I train because I want to win, right? Because it means a lot to me. So I like to get very arrogant when I'm training. So.
Do you think the arrogance just comes with
confidence?
You wanting to win, with you wanting to win, right? It's the mindset, right?
Right. You got to act like a champion before you're a champion. So you got to start building up that confidence, right? And it's that preparation that gives you that confidence, right? Knowing that you're doing the work. So the fact that I'm here on a Saturday night, not partying, not doing that lifestyle, but I'm in here getting better, gives me a certain level of confidence and arrogance, like, oh yeah, I'm getting shit done. So the person who's training me right now is Matt Jansen. He does my workouts, so he's the one that does my workout split. He gives me the exercises and how to execute the exercises. Usually I write things down, but today I didn't bring my log, so I am guilty of that. But usually I write my workouts down. If you guys see my previous videos, I write my number of sets and exercises. But today I didn't bring my log. Shame on me. But usually I write my stuff down.
How important is that?
Very important. Very important. It's very important to make sure you guys bring a log. Luckily I have a good memory, so when I get home I'll write it down. But you guys want to make sure that you guys are writing stuff down. That's the only way you're going to keep track of your numbers, and the only way, because sometimes you're not going to see progress in the mirror because you see yourself every single day. So the way I see progress, if I see my numbers increasing, that's one way of seeing like, okay, I'm getting better, right? Because we're in here to get better and progress forward. So that's the only way I keep track of stuff. So I recommend you guys try that. When I meant earlier about training like arrogant, obviously I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, right? Because there's always someone that's going to work harder than you. There's always someone that's going to be better than you. But I like to build my own confidence in a sense. Like this is the last set you guys saw right now is my confidence builder. It allows me to know what I'm going to work with, and it builds me that confidence to go heavier. That way when it's time to do the set, I'm ready mentally, and I get that aggression, and it's time to go. So just because I train arrogant, it does not mean that I think I'm better than everybody else, because at the end of the day, I'm competing against myself. So that's the person I'm going against, it's myself. So that's what I mean train arrogant. I'm trying to beat the guy from last week. That's who I'm always beating, because I'm trying to beat myself. So if I can beat myself, that's a win. 1, 3, up, try. Oh, let's go, come on. Up, let's go. Oh, don't quit, 1. Usually after a set like that, I rest as long as I need. I honestly just go by feel. I rest by feel. I don't go by a set time, because I might not be ready mentally. I just put myself through a hard set, so I'm trying to gather my thoughts and gather myself up again. For 1, I don't throw up, and then for 2, I can go on to the next set. So not ready right now, but usually I give myself 3 to 5 minutes after a set like that. Okay, so what I did right there, so I dropped the load. So the goal was to get 4 sets of 12 reps each, but I didn't hit 12 on my first set. I got 9 reps, so I failed. If I would have hit 12, I would have got another set, and if I would have got 12 again, I would have got another set. So I haven't been able to hit 12 with this weight since I went up last time, about over a little bit a month ago. So the goal is to always try to get 12 on my drop set, and then I'll do another set, get 12 again if I can. But once I don't hit 12, I stop the set. And I barely got 9, so I'm gonna be here for a while. All right guys, so now we got leg press. We just got done with hacks, but now we got leg press. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna go a little bit more wider stance, focus on the hamstring and glutes. So we're gonna focus on the hamstring and the glutes. So we're gonna do white stance. So we're gonna go 2 warm-ups and then 1 hard working set. All right guys, so the goal here is we are gonna get 15 reps Then we're gonna hold it at the top for 10 seconds without locking out, without resting the weight. We're gonna hold it at the top, and then we're gonna try to do 2 to 3 reps, and then repeat as many as we can. So, but for sure, minimum 15. The goal is 20 overall. So that's what we're gonna strive for.
Why such a high number?
Volume. We're gonna try to go volume, guys. But we're still gonna try to go heavyweight at the same time. So what you guys saw right there. So I'm gonna stick with this weight for a while. So I failed, right? I didn't hit my goal. The goal was to get 20, or more than 20, and I got 17. So I was 3 reps shy. So I'll remember that. When I go home, I'll write in my log. Now I know what I'm working with. In the next couple of weeks, this is what I'm gonna focus on. So we did a single leg press. Now we're gonna focus a little bit more on the quad. Superset with the lunges, weighted lunges. So what you guys saw was I did 15 reps on each leg. Then I did weighted lunges. On the way back, in order for me not to stop, I dropped the weight and just continue to keep going. So instead of taking a second on top, holding it, resting, I prefer to drop the weight, finish off the set, keep the tension on the legs, and don't rest till afterwards. So it's like Kobe Bryant says, don't rest in the middle, rest in the end. Number 1 muscle group that a lot of men don't train are calves. You gotta train your calves, guys. You gotta train your calves. You can't have big biceps and no calves. Like training calves? I'll be honest, I'm not one that used to like training calves. I thought it was very boring. But once I started to see my calves grow, and once they started to stand out, I think the number 1 thing will distinguish, well, let me say the word right. One thing that separates a real bodybuilder from a competitor are calves. You know somebody's legitimate when you look at their calves. So there's a difference between training to be elite and then training to be a therapeutic. A therapeutic is what I like to call like the entrepreneurs, the ones that come at 4 or 5 in the morning, get the workout in an hour, go home, live their normal daily life, right? Then there's the athletes and the elites, the ones that come with the purpose and push themselves past that barrier where they're trying. It's just failure, right? So there is a difference between coming for health and fitness, the hour 15, get in, get out, and then there's the ones that come in with the purpose, trying to push themselves past that barrier and past that limit, where it's, you know, you're trying to progress, and it's discomforting. So there is a difference between working out and training. Therapeutic is not bad, but therapeutic can also get in the way of progressing, because therapeutic, you can be here 6 days a week, but if you're trying to progress, you don't need to be in here 6 days a week, 4 to 5 days a week, because you gotta rest. When it's therapeutic, you come in here to clear your mind and etc. But when it's, hey, I have a goal and I have a purpose, you gotta know how to tell yourself, I gotta take a rest day. And that's something I've learned over the years. It could be both, but you gotta make sure the therapeutic part doesn't take over the progressive part. All right, guys, so that is it. We are done with legs for today. So a little recap of what we went through. We went through leg extensions, hack squat again, and lunges. So guys, it's not how much you do, but what you do. So we didn't do as many exercises you're used to seeing all these, I guess, YouTubers and influencers do. We try to get as much as we can from as little as possible, and that's called execution. So that's what we did. We executed the exercises, we executed the sets, our tempos will matter, and hopefully if you guys have any questions, comment below. If you guys want to see anything else, yeah, comment, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I am done for today.